big opportunity this week to again go on the road and play Spartan football. I felt like we handled ourselves last week very well in terms of preparing for YSU, and had a chance to play in front of our fans, our home fans finally, which was a great moment for everyone in our program. I want to thank everyone making Spartan Stadium a special environment on Saturday. The place was loud, it was rocking, and I assumed and anticipated it even getting better, as we go louder and more raucous. This week, obviously, we head on the road and play a very talented and well-coached Miami team. Definitely going to be a challenge for us. There's some great Spartans down in the Miami area. I know they'll be out in full force, and we have quite a few Spartans that will be traveling. We have guys down there like Lorenzo White and Cedric Irvin, great Spartans. That were here when Cedric was here when I was a GA under Coach Saban. I hear there's going to be a lot of Spartans down there in Miami. And looking forward to the trip and looking forward to seeing us play good football. We went right back to work this week. So far, we've had really good focus and on our preparation, on the game plan, and studying the opponent. The focus has been there with the detail. It's we're going to have to be a disciplined team. We're going to have to be a very physical team, not just in the trenches, but also on the perimeter with our guys. Poise is going to be critical, and we're going to be best condition. Be able to go all day long with these guys. But Manny's doing a great job. I've known Manny for a long time. He's a darn good football coach, and he's going to have his guys ready to play. And so, again, it's another opportunity. We want to get so many. We have to do everything we can to prepare so we can put our best foot forward on Saturday. Does anyone have any questions for me?
You can state your name and affiliation when you ask me a question. Thank you.
Well, over here, Matt Sherwood of the Tribune. I know you focus a lot on every week's important. You want to be focused every week. But when you have a game like this, against a program like Miami going on the road, is there a little different feel around practice and around the building right now? Like there's a little more anticipation for a game like this early?
Well, every game is important. There was a tremendous sense of urgency last week, and there's a tremendous sense of urgency this week. We're desperate to improve as a football team, and obviously we have Miami is a strong opponent, but in college football and even in the National Football League every week is a challenge you need to be ready to play. That's why we play the games. So this week is no different.
Well, we're Graham Couch, Lansing State Journal. You guys have obviously done a nice job of jumping out on two teams in a row. Obviously, the first play and then having a lead. Are you curious to see how your team responds this week or whenever it is when there's a pressure that a play has to be made later in a game, or how Peyton Thorne deals with a different type of pressure? Pressure at his feet more often, just sort of a different, where the game takes a different track, so to speak.
Well, Graham, we're going to be prepared to play a 4-quarter game, and you have to prepare your team to win the game in 2 minutes, if necessary, or in an overtime situation. So to be able to play 60 minutes, 4 quarters in the game or more is what we will be prepared to do.
Hey, Mel, up front here. Matt Lund with them live. Hey, I was wondering if you had an update on Elisha from last week.
Yeah, I don't have an update at this moment. I know he's a little sore. He'll be ready when he's ready.
Okay, how about Tavian Brown, Drew Jordan, and Drew Beasley? We didn't see them this week.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Tank this week. But the other guys, are getting ready as best they can.
Jack Ebling from the Drive and Press Pass. Now, very few teams, Power 5 teams, have had 2 road games in the first 3. The fact that you've already had this experience, going to Northwestern, winning there, it's a different environment, but how does that help your team going to Miami?
Well, obviously going on the road is, takes a different type of protocol, different schedule, different type of organization that's required to, take the show on the road like that. There's a lot of moving parts, and so we're excellent operations staff, and we have protocol for our players and for our staff in terms of, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, understand why we got to do things a certain way, and we'll do the same thing on this trip.
But the confidence of your players knowing that you've already got a road win.
Yeah, we've shown that we can win on the road, but, it's always, what have you done for me today? And nobody cares what you did yesterday or last week or 2 weeks ago.
Mel Redden from Stephen Brooks, 24/7 Sports. Two things for you, if I could. I'm curious, it's pretty hot today. I'm just wondering if you're doing anything to try to simulate the heat or prepare these guys for a noon kickoff in South Florida. And then additionally, with Derek King, their quarterback, I'm curious your thoughts on him, and if you can share who's maybe playing his role in practice this week, trying to give you a good look for him. Yes,
we've done a lot to prepare for the heat, and not just this week, but it's been over the course of several weeks, and so we'll follow that plan and continue with that this week and take it all the way into the game. Pre-game, during the game, halftime, and throughout the second half. We'll execute our plan the best we can. We don't have anyone that can simulate King, and we'll do the best we can. But he's a special player. We don't have anyone on our scout team that can do what he can do.
Mel, Audrey Dahlgren, CBS Lansing. Stephen, kind of take my question, but how hot has it really been in football building for practice these last couple of weeks?
Well, when we turned the heat up, it's been pretty steamy in there. I know y'all were in there a couple weeks ago when we had that presser in there, and it was a little warm, and I was sweating bullets in there. So we can get it cranked up pretty good.
And then secondly, real quick, Diaz was very complimentary of Peyton Thorne yesterday in his press conference. And so how do you hope that growth from the first two games equates over to this game on the road against Miami, and what has led to that with Jay Johnson?
Yeah, well, Jay's done a phenomenal job with Peyton and all of our quarterbacks. And consistency in performance is how you become successful. And that's what it's all about, just going out and executing the game plan, taking care of the football, making sure that we're in the right plays, and taking what the defense gives us, playing complementary football, not leaving it up to one guy or one side of the ball. I feel like they have to do it all. It's going to take a total team effort. We've bought into that, but obviously, Manny knows, what it takes for a quarterback to be efficient, and they've done a great job with King. He's got a lot of experience, and, their offense, and, Red does a good job. I've coached against him before. Those guys, they know what they're doing. They know how to get the ball to their best players. They know how to, use their quarterback in the run game and the pass game. And they do a phenomenal job. So, but yeah, we need to continue to get better and improve, and that's where our focus is this week. That's where our focus was this morning.
Larry Leach from the Associated Press. Mel.
Hey, Larry.
With red shirts and the 4 games that they can play and still red shirt, for players that are potentially in that pool for your program, how do you best manage that? Who's in charge of that? And do you have them play a couple games early and save a couple late in case you need them, or how do you just handle that whole situation with players who may red shirt?
Yeah, it's player by player. First of all, it's based on what the team needs, and then what type of role we think that player will have in the game. That player can help us win, or have a significant role and contribute. We're not going to burn a player's red shirt if he's not going to have a significant role or really have an impact on the game, so to speak. But it really goes case by case because things come up. It's a game of attrition, injuries. players progress throughout the season. Sometimes guys start off on the scout team and they look like they're headed towards a red shirt. They continue to work and improve. The light bulb comes on, and next thing you know, they're out there starting for you, making plays. So, but I'm in charge of that and making sure that we're doing the right thing for the team and for the players.
Fred Human, WILX, I know. Do you have a play called yet for this week for the first play? You're not going to tell us what it is, but have you called it?
Do I have a play card? I don't have a play card yet. I don't. That's a serious question, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
I'm wondering if you know what play call is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Tuesday. Today was Coach Me Coach Tuesday. It used to be Bloody Tuesday. We rebranded it this morning to Coach Me Coach Tuesday. And so, we're still in the early stages of planning, especially our first and second down stuff. We'll see how things look on tape, but obviously we want to be efficient when we run the plays. The players are drawn up to be successful, not to fail.
Here's a more serious one. Feeding off what Jack was asking you, I don't know what coach, what happened yesterday doesn't matter, but do you think there's a belief that's forming on this team, especially offensively, when they have success?
Well, the belief and the buy-in needs to be there for us to be successful. And you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to buy into the process and the program. And we have our belief factor is high, and our buy-in is high. We have a very high percentage of buy-in, on the team, and we need to continue to grow and get stronger. I mean, you're never there, and you're never to that point, because you're always, as a coach, you're always selling, you're always recruiting your own team. I mean, this is before the portal. I mean, it's a daily process of promoting your program, your values, what's important, hammering those things over and over and over every day with individual players, groups of players, always, strengthening the buy-in and the belief in what we're doing. And, not just, blind faith, you can point to it on a daily basis. We had success here, or you were able to win this one-on-one in practice because of this or that. And so you see that works, keep doing that. Or, what you're doing is not working and it's not going to work. So how about you do it this way? And that would probably give you a much better chance to be successful.
Jeff Seidel from the Free Press over here.
Yeah.
I have a question about Kenneth Walker, but I just want to ask, what is the Coach Me? What did you say, Coach?
Coach Me Coach?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, Coach Me Coach is basically a mindset from a player that the player is going to accept coaching, receive the coaching, and not be offended when players get coached, or if there's constructive criticism or harsh criticism, because it's not personal, it's the performance. It's not I don't like you as a person, it's like I don't like what you just did. Let me tell you how to get it right, and let's work on that. So if you have a Coach Me Coach mentality, then you can get better a lot faster, and that's part of our culture. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays are our longer days. We've got the pads on. They're our most physical days, and they're extremely demanding. And if you don't have a Coach Me Coach attitude as a player and mentality, and you can't get as much out of the practices and the meetings as you need to.
And Kenneth Walker, you were just talking about selling the program. When you saw him for the first time in the transfer portal and you looked at his video, what did you see, and what were some of the things that went into getting him here?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you see a very good football player that's, that's explosive, and he's got good vision, and he's got, very good ball skills, plays with really good toughness. And then obviously, getting to know him, he's a first-class individual. He's a very high character, unselfish, team-oriented player, and those are the types of players that we need here that can help us be successful.
Mel, over here.
Graham, go ahead.
Okay, Mel over here. Graham Couch, Landscape Journal. A couple questions. One, there was a picture on social media of Anthony Russo on crutches leaving the game. Is he available if needed this week?
Yeah, I know he's a little sore, but I mean, he's be ready when he's ready. These guys are always getting treatment and things like that, and it's every week. There's you play a game, you're gonna have to figure out a way to get back in there.
You said some nice things about Noah Kim, his development. Is he a guy who was needed in a game you feel comfortable putting in there?
Yeah, I feel comfortable with Noah in the game. I mean, he's done some good things, and he's progressing. He's gotten better as a player. He's more mature. He's stronger. He's very talented. He's got some really good arm time, and he can zip it out there pretty good.
So the other thing I want to ask about your thoughts on Miami, what your first memories of them sort of growing up as a teenager before you even went to college. When you think of Miami Hurricanes football, what comes to mind?
Well, I remember playing in 2002 in the national championship game when I was at Ohio State. Very talented, both sides of the ball, a lot of NFL players, very well coached, a lot of energy, big, long, fast guys that, play with a chip on their shoulder. And that's the type of Miami that I remember, and that's the type of Miami that I see on tape.
I'm saving Free Press. Now, when you're coming up and devising a style of offense, how much does recruiting factor into it, and how important is it to have balance and be all-inclusive to appeal to recruits who want to play, for Michigan State?
Well, we have a pro-style offense. We're under center, we're in the pistol, we're in the gun. We have all of the strong runs, the gap scheme runs. We've got quick game. We've got the drop back game. We got play action. We can move the pocket. We've got a really good screen game and things like that. So, it's important for recruits to be able to see themselves in our offense. We use a tight end. We use the backs in terms of running the ball, pass pro. Out in the route. Same thing with the receivers. We have outside guys, inside guys. We give them the ball different types of ways, and we play a lot of guys. We play as many guys as we can. Rotate guys in, guys that earn playing time. We'll rotate the line. We'll play quite a few guys up front. We'll play 3 or 4 backs, 5 if we can. And so, and then what type of offense that you would like to run. And so you obviously recruit, to that in terms of what you need. However, you have to have an offensive scheme, a defensive scheme, and special teams that takes advantage of what your players can do best. So you do what your players can do. So you have to be able to adapt and adjust, and never try to put a square peg in a round hole. And so, we have experienced coordinators that understand. It's not necessarily, always the X's and O's. Sometimes it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
How much do you talk to the guys about not measuring the scoreboard and just go play and just don't worry about anything else that might trip up?
We talk to them about that every play in practice and in the games. Like, go to the next play. Keep chopping wood. Get the neutral. Learn from the last play. Get the neutral right now. Go on to the next play. What's most important is what you do next. And so there's really no need to look at the scoreboard. When you're playing, in general. every play has a history and a life of its own. And, we're really playing 60-minute game. You're really actually playing about 7 minutes, total. So you got 6 seconds of relentless effort, execution, and focus, and mental and physical toughness. And it's literally one play at a time. And that's how we go about our business. We teach our players to do that. We harp on it, and we show them why it's important to play like that.
How much growth have you seen in that area over the last year in the program?
I've seen tremendous growth, but it really is that, going to understanding, go to next play, but also understanding, why you have success or why you don't have success, and then be able to repeat, and continue to do the things that help you be successful, or to make some changes, because the past is not necessarily predictive of the future unless you don't change the behavior. So sometimes, it's all about the behavior, whether it's productive or unproductive.
Cole Ponce for the Athletic. What have you seen from Xavier Henderson through 2 weeks? You obviously had the acrobatic interception Saturday. I think you said a Big Ten Media Days that you've been coaching him up. So what have you seen from him so far this season? Well,
he's definitely had a coach mentality, and he's a fun guy to coach. Coach Barnett has done a heck of a job, working with him. I think they have a really good relationship. X has worked tremendously hard on his game, in the run game, and then also versus the pass. His tackling in space has been a point of emphasis. And he's really emerged as a leader, on our defense and on our team. He's really helping us take the steps towards being a player-led team, and we're not there yet, but he's one of those guys who is willing to step up and, and confront his teammates and demand that they do it right, and that's. I mean, you need those types of guys. I mean, you really need you really need 3 or 4 difference makers on each side of the ball to be really, really good. So it's what we're working towards. I'm really proud of what he's done, up until this point. But like I said, it's for me or him or anyone else or you. It's what have you done for me today? What are you going to do next? That's really the only thing that actually really matters at the end of the day.
We have time for a couple more. I'll go 3. We'll go Matt out of here, and then we'll wrap it up.
And Matt Hunt with Dunlap. The first game we saw you go primarily with Gervin and Williams at cornerback. Last week, obviously changed it up. Kimbrough getting the start. We saw a lot of Chuck Ramley. I was wondering what your thoughts are on going a little deeper and what you saw from film and kind of moving forward.
Yeah, we compete for those spots in practice, and it's an ongoing competition. And there's nothing set in stone. That's not lip service. You need to, be productive and compete and put it on tape. Because there's guys in here that want to play, that are capable of playing, and we have to put the guys out there who do the best job for us, who we think give us the best chance. And then that also builds depth. So, at those positions and some of the others, those roles for this game are still being determined. I'm looking forward to watching the tape, when I leave here of today's practice and seeing where we are, in the secondary and our entire team actually. Everything is under evaluation because there's players that are improving. They're improving, as we go. And so we have to make sure that we notice that and we're paying attention to that, because and reward that if that's actually happening. When guys get better, then they may earn an opportunity to go in the game and play. So there's nothing set in stone. There's competition, and that's every day, whether it's a Coach Me Coach Tuesday or it's a deload Thursday or so fast Friday. You know, it could be a walkthrough at the hotel pregame. You know, we gotta be on top of it.
Deload Thursday, what's that as well? Real quick.
On a deload Thursday, that's more of a walkthrough type pace. You know, literally. Then we go a little bit faster on Friday before a shorter duration of time.
Okay, well, this is a simple question, but what's one of the biggest challenges for your defense going into this game this week? I mean, they seem to be pretty run heavy through the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, we have to set the edge on defense in the run game and build a wall and not allow any seams. Have to do a really good job of perimeter run support. You know, they crowd replace, and you know our corners are going to show up and make some plays in the run game. And we have to do a tremendous job with coordinated pass rush, whether it's we're rushing 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to be coordinated. We have to be balanced and eliminate the running lanes for the quarterback to be able to step up, pull down, and run. And the run game and then the coordinated pass rush are going to be huge for us in this game.
Did you have a couple more, Jim?
Yeah, Mel, Jim Comfort with SpartanMag.com with the concerns about the heat down there and the way Miami likes to go up-tempo. How important has it been for you to get second stringers and get them on film, get them corrected? And are you satisfied with the progress, with the depth that you probably need in a game like this?
Well, we've worked extremely hard since day one. We talked about we need everyone. We need to get as many guys ready to play as possible, and we do. We play players with, you know, we have confidence putting guys in the game because we know what they're capable of doing, what they've shown us that they can do. You know, in practice, and we do, you know, apply pressure in practice to guys. So, you know, it's important to have depth. You know, some positions rotate more than others, but we got to be able to be best conditioned. We got to be able to play longer and harder. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You know, we talk about, you know, straining to finish and trusting your training and, you know, knowing that, you know, you're going to play, you know, 6 seconds or whatever, and you're going to recover. You got to go again, you know, and keep going. And you got to make sure you don't give in mentally before you give in physically. So it's going to take a lot of mental toughness to play in this game, and not just this game. Any of these games. These games are long, physical games. I mean, they go forever. And you just got to keep going and going and going and going.
Last one, Ryan.
Now, do you believe in a program-defining win? I mean, when you were at Ohio State, and where you've seen programs rise, I mean, have you seen a turning point in those with a certain game or something where they finally all click together and a program is kind of able to go to that next level?
Well, you know, I don't know. I think that's more so maybe a perception from the outside, or maybe when you look back, because I'm not sure if I've coached anywhere where you weren't expected, or really the expectation wasn't to win every game, you know. So, and then when you do, if you are fortunate enough to be able to put yourself in a position to win a game, and you actually do get it done and win the game, and it's on to the next game. You know, so, you know, what defines a program to me, there's also, you know, there are, you know, winning games, and but not so much just winning games, but how you win and the brand of football that you play really defines what type of program you have and what type of coach you have, and what we expect of ourselves and what our fans can expect, and our former players, you know, our alums, everything. You know, what are they gonna, what should they expect to see? I mean, like if you go to Starbucks and you order a nice cup of coffee right there, there's a certain expectation for what that coffee's gonna taste like and the temperature and everything, and that's what you expect it to be. and you're willing to pay for that. You know, and if it's not that, and then you're not willing to pay for that, and it's not acceptable. You know, so it's about the standard and the brand, how we play as much as it is, you know, which particular games we win, because they're all important.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you very much. See you.